first story was posted 6 years ago by a Reddit user named Fert77. I was traveling out of the country right after finishing up a huge 5-day work event where I had about 10 hours of sleep total during the 5 days. I got to the motel, which is kinda run down, and the carpet and blankets are damp, but I'm so exhausted, I don't even really think about it. I fall asleep pretty much immediately at like 8 p.m. local time. At maybe 11 p.m. or so, I get a call from the motel phone saying there's been a complaint about noise. I tell them that's impossible, I've been sleeping. They ask me if maybe it's someone else in the room, and I tell them nope. I'm here alone, so there's definitely no one else making noise. They ask me again if I'm sure I'm by myself and not causing any noise. I say yes again, fall back asleep immediately. When I woke up and thought about it some more, I realized how weird the entire interaction was. There was absolutely no noise I could hear anywhere nearby, and I didn't know why the motel staff would need to clarify so many times that I was alone. Apparently, they never called, so I assume it must have been someone calling the different rooms to see who was in the rooms and how many people. I've never been so glad to always use the extra latch chain lock. Second story was posted 4 years ago by a Reddit user named Pavementod. I worked in IT for a guy named Mike Milken, and every year he puts on this huge conference that brings world leaders and billionaires together for a conference called Global Conference. We would rent out pretty much all of the Beverly Hilton for a full 7 days. You can go to this if you like. It just costs thousands of dollars to do so. I, like OP, also am interested in hotel staff and hauntings, so I asked every staff member I could about any otherworldly experiences. I heard a couple of people talk about Merv Griffin, the game show creator, host, and composer. He bought the place in the 80s and loved to hang out there after he retired. After he died, the staff said they would see him, not as a ghostly shape, but as actual Merv, walking down on the hallways near the kitchens occasionally. Ultimately though, the cleaning staff was terrified of the 8th floor. It's not a tall hotel, and the 8th floor was a party-type room. It was a medium-sized banquet-type area with a low ceiling. It has a bathroom and a view of Beverly Hills with rounded red leather couches and maroon velour-sided walls. There is a curved bar and glass tables with razor blade marks on them from the copious amounts of cocaine that had been chopped up for consumption. I know you see this room in your head skull right now. The story goes that there was a lady that would go up there and clean the place by herself after the parties were over. One night, she was almost done and finishing up in the bathrooms cleaning the sinks. She heard a girl behind her, then something brush across her shoulder. She turned quickly around and no one was there. She turned back to the sink and there was a piece of gum where there had previously been none. She swore there was no gum in the sink prior, as she was cleaning the sink when it happened, so that was her focus. After that, the cleaning staff would not go up there unless they had to at night, and then they would go in doubles. They also started to clean the floor in the morning, again with 2 people. My buddy/co-worker and I had to go up and check this out. We were getting chills listening to the story and had to see for ourselves. So at about 9 p.m., we went up there as it was vacant for the night and we pretty much had run of the hotel. Right before we went up though, we saw one of the cleaning staff and told him we were going up, and he got this look like, "You're an idiot." We head up, check the whole room, and take it in like I described above. We go over to the little bathroom where the gum incident happened, and we recreated the scene. I took at the sink, my buddy brushed my shoulder, and I turned around. Nothing. Absolutely nothing at all. We didn't feel coldness or freakiness, just plain old us on the top floor. We were a bit disappointed, and we were saying things like, "What did we expect?" type conversation. We noticed the weird music on the speaker in the elevator that we hadn't noticed coming up. It was a girl kind of singing and laughing, very eclectic stuff. When we got off, we saw the cleaning dude from earlier and told him that we saw nothing. There was no ghost up there. Then, my buddy mentioned the interesting choice of music in the elevator. The cleaning guy said, "What music?" And we replied, "The music in the elevator." He then pointed out that there was no speaker in the elevator, never has been. We peed our pants, went back into the elevator cautiously because we couldn't believe that what we were hearing was not coming from a speaker. Being IT experts, we knew how to look for wires and speaker covers and such, and there were none. It was an old elevator that just wasn't wired for that. We noped out of that elevator and tried to avoid it the rest of the time we worked there. Third story was posted 4 years ago by a Reddit user named Icklegrim. I worked as a housekeeper at a haunted hotel for about a year. There's many stories I could tell, but there was this one room that messed me up mentally for months. Still have nightmares about it now. So the hotel is a grade 2 listed building, a manor house that was converted into a hotel. It's said that the family who built and lived there had their bedrooms where room 1, 2, and 3 now are. The rooms are out of the way and down a dark corridor, which gives them an eerie feeling, but they're decent rooms. Number 2 is one of the biggest and luxurious rooms to stay in. However, it's rumored that when the house was being converted, that the builders found a skeleton of a child in the fireplace that's still in that room. The room opens up to a long corridor, the bathroom on the left, and a super king bed in a huge living area looking over the gardens. I never felt right there, but things got worse a few months in when I started having nightmares that I was being chased down the room's corridor. I'd never seen what was chasing me, but I'd be filled with terror. The corridor would just keep going for what seemed like forever, but when I'd reached the door, there'd be no handle. I had that dream every night for months. My teeth got damaged from all the grinding and so exhausted that I could barely do the job. In the end, the place got me so depressed, I was self-harming again, something I'd been clean of since I was a teen. Since quitting the job, that dream and my mental health improving, the dream became much less frequent, but I still get it from time to time when things are bad. The whole hotel is toxic, but that one room still continues to haunt me.